Apartment Sumbitch here on a cold, crisp Saturday, 2 weeks before Christmas. So this is our old barn. Parts of this barn are pushing 200 years old. Parts are probably more like 100 or 120 years old. But this old L-shaped barn is added character and charm to the farm. Our house was probably built in the 1850s, if I had to guess. It's all hand-hewn beams and but sawed lumber. And very cool old house, very cool old barn. So we're going to give you a quick tour of the inside of it. Hope you enjoy it. In Western New York, a lot of these old barns still survive. A lot of them have fallen down. Make a comment. Tell me about the barns in your area. And I don't know why in Western New York they're red, but in other places they're mostly white. But barns around here were mostly red. So in this portion of our barn, we got some second cutting grass hay here for the sheep. We got some first cutting grass hay, alfalfa mix. So this barn used to have a hay track. Well, still got the track, but the cart or the car is missing. So this whole end door used to hinge open. When we had more sheep, I set up a pulley system so I could open up this door and we could put a hay elevator right up on this beam and fill this mow right full. So they would tip that big door down, pull the loose hay up on a hay fork. When it would get to the top, the truck would come in along this track, and you stopped it wherever you wanted, and you dropped the loose hay. So this barn's got these beams in here, also got some pigeon manure, but these beams in here, they weren't too big a deal when you were stacking loose hay. They're kind of a pain when you're trying to stack bales, but on the other side, hello pigeons up there in the peak. On the other side is where the old original barn was. We'll take a look at that too. So these sheep are just our pets. We don't breed them anymore. This guy here is a little weather bottle lamb that we fell in love with that we never had the heart to sell. So we feed them corn in these little plastic tubs. Pretty fancy water system. A couple buckets. And there used to be 13 or 14 stanchions in this barn. So we made a hay rack for the sheep. They just soon eat it thrown into the pen usually. So back in the day, there was one row of stanchions in here. There was a gutter under here. It's all cement. So once a year, our neighbors help us clean it out. And we'll go outside and take a look at the outside of the barn. Good night, sheep. So this is the section where the sheep are. That's the door I showed you from the inside. So this is the newest part of the barn. I don't know exactly when it was built, but this barn's pretty close to the road. We own the field north of the barn. There used to be a silo here. A lot of people fed corn silage back in the day and then loose hay. So the door was right behind this little planter. So the rest of the barn, we got to do a little work on her. Every year we try to do a little something. We're going to finish the steel roof here hopefully this winter or this spring. But the original part was underneath here, hand-hewn beams, and it had a gable roof. Years later, they put the gable roof on it for more storage. So we'll take a look. But if you see, them shingles are shot. So and then this section here is hand-hewn beams. There's a little bit of a section there, the last 30 feet or 36 feet. That is sawed beams as well. They just made the roof line match. So we'll wander inside and take a look. Someday we're going to make new doors. So it's a little hard to see in here because the lighting's not so good and the doors don't open well. We got the doors closed up for winter. But the cover's coming off my little combine. I got to throw the tarp back on her. But my little 40 self-propelled combine's in here hiding. We keep it in here. Uh-oh, we got some pigeon poop on it. So we keep this in here, but this beam here, although it's hard to tell, they called this an English thrashing beam. So this beam is all one beam. There's no center support underneath it. Back in the day, before this granary was added later, they used to walk horses around in a circle. These barns were built in the 1830s. They'd walk the horse around in a circle to thrash the grain. Then they would open the doors, and they would, I guess they would fork the straw around in the chaff, and the chaff would blow out. And Western New York was considered the breadbasket of the country back in the 1800s. So that double beam there, the English thrashing beam, is kind of cool. Those must have been some big trees to drag down from the woods with the horse, but or the oxen probably. And then later years they added 3 bays of granary in here. A little hard to see, but that's kind of cool. Some old license plates patching the rat holes. And then at one point when they added on to the barn, most of the English thrashing barns were 3 bays. So there's a bay the other side of there, this center bay, and then this bay. Then they added this west bay. We fixed up the end and put steel on it and tried to fix the roof. This roof's got some pinholes in it. That's why we're going to try to get it replaced this winter. But unfortunately, this bay sits empty. So we're trying to figure out if we should make some doors so we can use it as storage space or what we should do. But a lot of wasted space. But in Western New York, there was a lot of these English thrashing barns, excuse me. I just love the hand-hewn beams. I wish the light was better in here and you could see, but the work that went into building these barns had to be unreal. So this part of the barn, the sheep are over in that section, the road's over there, old chicken coop that's not in very good repair. There's our home, and if you go a little bit to the west, the other side of that tree we got to cut up, there's our shop, and there's our grain bins. So we got everything spaced out enough that it's still hopefully fireproof, but still close enough. So when we started farming, our garage on our house, our 1-car garage, and this area in here, this was our shop. So there was in 2010 we started farming, there was my workbench. We had some parts, there's still some miscellaneous junk in here. And there's just storage. We got a Peterbilt fender and some other things that we need to straighten up. The old horse stalls, there's 4 horse stalls in there. I just would love to travel back in time and see how these barns were set up when this was actually a working farm 100 years ago, something like that. It'd be very cool to check it out, but it's just junk storage now. So, but this was our shop, this little area here. This is where we stored the seed and the chemicals, and as they say, we've come a long ways, baby. We got to get Troy's little snowmobile out. That Indy, I don't know how many miles on it, but it's a pretty cool old sled. So there's part of a tour of our barn. And thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Great day to feed the world. And I almost forgot to mention, we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you for watching. We like doing it. We love the comments. And I called a fella in Ohio the other day about a tractor he had for sale. And he said, "Are you that farming some bitch on YouTube?" Maybe. Depends on who's asking. So we'd like you to leave a comment. What would you like us to do for a 1,000 subscriber special? Is there anything special you want to see? Anything you want to know? Anything we could do better? And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. And we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it. Great day to feed the world.